Welcome back, everyone. My name is Sydney McLean, and this is Off the Stat Sheet, where athletes talk faith. And today I'm here with two special guests, USC men's water polo players Breydon Congo and Cam Kocur. Guys, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, this is amazing. Thank you.
Before we start talking about how the athlete Bible study started and how you guys met each other, I would love to just start by you guys explaining how did you guys first get introduced to Christ, and how has your relationship with Christ evolved since your childhood?
Yeah.
Good question.
I grew up in a Christian family. My mom she led female Bible studies, mothers groups. My dad's a super strong Christian. My grandparents are super strong Christians. And it started with my great-grandparents also. I guess we're going right into it. I have my Bible with me, and it's from my great-grandmother. Right here, it has my name on it. It's a gift from her right before she died, and she loved to give Bibles to people. That was her whole thing. It was her favorite thing to do ever. She loved to give Bibles to people, and she loved to pray about everything. Anything and everything you could possibly think of. Even if we would go and we'd be parking in a mall, and she would pray for a parking spot. And it would be
Wow.
it wasn't a joke. It would be a serious prayer for a parking spot. So she was definitely my first role model, and then definitely my parents too.
What about you, Cam?
I would say definitely my family was semi-Christ. We went to church probably 1 or 2 summers. Not super involved with the church, but I got to go to an amazing school, Oaks Christian, which really was the gateway into me understanding who God was and my relationship with him. So middle school was amazing. I have a huge mentor of mine, Mr. Mo. He kind of walked me through who God is, who he can be in my life, and just the guide he can be in all of our lives. And then got to high school, didn't connect with him as much, kind of got off on a straight path. And then finally my senior year, I started to truly dive back into my relationship with the Lord. Took an amazing trip to Turkey, walked the footsteps of Paul, dived into the Hebrew language, and just truly everything that the Bible and God has to offer. And then now we're here.
Breydon, do you have a mentor as well?
Yeah, I have a couple. Outside of my family, I think the one that I can think of is one of my friends, Cam. Was my youth group leader for 4 years in high school, and then he ended up inviting me to his small group that he does with his late 20s, early 30s young adults. So it was funny because it was just a bunch of young adults, and then it was me in high school. But that was one of the first times where I felt God fully in the room, presence, working through a room.
Wow.
It was the very first time I ever came to the group, and we kind of worshiped for a little bit, and we opened up discussion, and then one of the people there was like, "Hey Breydon, I know we don't know each other at all, I just met you today, but I just I feel like God has a word for me to give to you." And he just hit the nail completely on the spot, which with what had been happening in the past couple months of my life, and it was just I see this going on in your life, and I see this coming up, and then in the next couple months, everything that he said, I watched it get fulfilled throughout my life, and so I was just oh my gosh, if this isn't God, what is? This was crazy. So he's definitely been one of my mentors. I usually call him before our groups on Thursdays, and he'll walk through the passages with me and talk to me about whatever we're learning, and just give me so much more insight than I could possibly get by myself.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And both of you guys being freshmen, first of all, that's just such a big accomplishment for you guys to be able to start something like that on campus, a Bible study for athletes. How did that idea come about? And how did you guys actually, because sometimes we have ideas and it's very hard to act on them. How did you guys actually act on this?
Yeah, I think, well, I came in the fall, and so the whole first semester, I kind of went through this phase of am I the only Christian athlete here? I don't really know that many other Christian athletes. I'm kind of the loner. And because of that, I was I just kind of kept it down, kept it quiet, went through the motions. And then Cam got here, and one of our friends, Nikita, who works with Athletes in Action in LA and mainly in UCLA, he invited us to come to an Athletes in Action retreat down in Long Beach, or Laguna Beach. And we both went, and another USC women's soccer player went too, and that was the first time I had met another Christian athlete at USC. And we went to this retreat and we were like, oh my gosh, like, this is insane. Like, we love the community. We love everything it's about. Like, this is something, we both looked at each other and were like, this is something we need to have at SC.
Yeah.
And like, how can we possibly make this happen?
I think we got I think we were like 10 minutes. We walked outside, beautiful ocean view overlooking, I don't remember exactly where we were, but it was an incredible view. We walk right up to Nikita. Nikita starts talking to us, and then we turn to each other and we're like, we need this at USC. Like, it was just like immediate spark. Both of us knew exactly in that moment, like, no matter what, we got to do something with this organization. And I feel like even prior to that, with my semester off being overseas playing in Spain, just not having like a community of Christ-centered people around me, just feeling lost, not really understanding like what my role is with helping other people try to find the Lord. And then coming to USC, we've both been to different Bible studies around campus that just feel a little off. You don't really feel God when you're in the room. And then literally we walk into this room and we're like, this is God. This is our calling. Yeah.
It was crazy. We got home and we made a group chat with Cam and Kenzie and I, and we started adding, like, Kenzie added a couple soccer players. It was like 5 or 6 or whatever, how many people in the group chat. And Cam looked at me and was like, dude, like, there's going to be 40 people in this group chat by the end of this week. And I looked at him and I was like, I didn't say anything. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, there's no way. And by the end of that week, we didn't know it yet, but we hit 35 people, and that's like the max amount of people that you can have in a iMessage group chat.
Yeah.
And we got there and we were like, wait, why can't we add anybody? And we were like, oh my gosh, like, we filled it up. And so we were like, that's so insane. Like, praise God for that. So then we had to move to GroupMe and add more people. And now we have 35 people in an iMessage group chat and more than that in a GroupMe also. So it's just, God was definitely working through that.
So whenever you guys figured that out, you guys were just pulling your friends that you already knew?
Yeah, I mean, we started with teammates, and then we basically just tried to find an in to, like, every team on campus. And then we would have them reach out to their teammates and then try to bring their teammates in. That's what we figured worked the best.
And we're still trying more, like, still trying to get it out to every sport. I think we have almost every sport attending, so we're getting there.
And I think there's been new people every week.
Yeah,
so.
Which has been amazing. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Because you guys lead it, how do you guys decide what the scripture is going to be or what the book is going to be? How do you figure that out?
Yeah, I think originally we just weren't sure. Like, before the first week, where do we start? And I don't remember how we decided it, but...
I got you. I was praying one night because we ended the first Bible study and we're like, where are we going to go from this? So only thing we know how to do is like prayer. Just seek the Lord and he'll give you understanding. And I don't know how it popped into my head. I was like, we got to go over the book of John. And then Congo was like, that's a great idea. Let's do it. And then we kind of just jumped into it. And every week we went over 11 chapters of the book of John, went through the 7 I am statements, understanding like the origin meaning of each book in each chapter, and going back to like our pastors and our mentors and just asking them for understanding of the text, and then bringing it just to discuss with the people in the group has been amazing. Yeah.
And how do you guys translate? Like, is this the first time you guys are leading a Bible study?
It's the first time formally leading a Bible study for me.
I did a little bit in high school with actually 2 people who are younger than me, but are definitely, I also see and look up to in aspects of their relationship with the Lord, Heidi Lindos and Luke Poles. And they both started this like Bible study at the beach. It was, I forget the name of it, but we would meet every Friday and I would help with that. I was in like the leadership group and we would all go over different texts that we were going to go through. So that was kind of like the start of leadership through like a Bible study for me, but those 2 people definitely gave me the spark to be able to do it here.
That's cool. And I feel like with Bible studies, it can get super vulnerable. How do you get these new athletes that come in every week? You know, some of them are new, some of them have been there for a minute. how do you get them to, one, open up, and then two, I guess, just build that trust in the room that all of you guys are there for each other?
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that, one, it just comes with time, too. It's like getting to know people, like, like neither of us were expecting anybody just like open up the first couple weeks. But yeah, I think it's just like taking the time to get to know everybody and putting an effort to get to know everybody outside of the group. Because if they feel comfortable with us, then they're more likely to open up. And also just like creating an environment while we're in the group of openness and also leading by example a little bit too, and giving them a chance to follow.
And what's something, since you guys started in January, so around that point-ish, what is something, have you guys just been in John?
We did 11 chapters of the book of John. Then we had Congo's aunt come speak to us last week, and then we're going to do the book of Jonah to end us off.
Okay.
Yeah.
So back in John, what were kind of your takeaways from it? What were some things that you guys as a group discussed, and how are you translating that now into the real world?
I think every week there was a lot of themes that repeated over all the chapters, but I think the biggest thing that we talked about week after week after week was our ability and our job to get to know Jesus. And we talked so much about, like, in order to know somebody, you have to talk to them, and you have to, like, you can't be friends with somebody without actually knowing them. And we dived into the Hebrew and the Greek, like, translations of actually knowing something. It was like a word that we've used way too much, and everybody's probably tired of hearing about it by now, but it's pistis. And, like, it talks about having a relationship with. And we talked about how eternal life is actually having a relationship with Jesus, and how all of those things, like having a relationship and friendship and knowing and eternal life, they're all connected.
Yeah, we would go into, me and Congo, it was so much fun this semester just to be with someone who I could bounce ideas back and forth with, and then just bringing them to the group and going into relationship rather than religion. And I feel like we have a big calling as athletes as well to like share the relationship part, not only like the going to church on Sunday or like getting baptized, but just like having like a day-to-day relationship with the Lord has been really important. And we got pistis, which is to know, and then gnosko, which we also went over, which is like the Greek word for like a deep relationship with the Lord. So both those words, like, I think we said them probably once every week, just harping on them. And then like me and Congo both have pages on pages of just notes from every week. So they're definitely, I think the relationship's probably the biggest thing, but we went incredibly in depth.
Yeah. How would you say that the relationship between you two has grown? I mean, since Cam, you just came in January, so how would you say that you guys together have grown both as friends and also like through Christ? I don't know how to like word it better, but like.
You start.
All right, I'll start. Definitely coming into semester as like a new face. And my semester off was definitely hard for me, being in Spain and living with a host family who barely spoke any English. So just coming here and not being alone, I think is probably the biggest thing that a lot of us face at some points in our life. And to have Congo by my side, who's also has an amazing relationship with the Lord, has been honestly a blessing. Like, we've gone through every single week, probably spent 5 hours on the text. We've gone through different texts as well, bouncing different ideas, like just whatever comes to mind. Just, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And just having that relationship to be able to like not only dive into the text, but also like challenge each other and keep each other accountable has been really important.
Yeah, I think we're both very competitive people in the pool, outside of the pool, in our house playing random games, whatever it is. But I think it really is like the whole iron sharpens iron thing, where so much of the time that we spend in our apartment talking about it is like a lot of it's sometimes arguing too, like where I have one perspective and he has another, and we're just batting heads. But like, it's such like a respectful and like, I don't know, like I don't know if mature is the right way to say it, but like
it's out of love.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
out of
healthy.
love.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Like, and it causes us to both learn so much more than we would have if we were just going through it all by ourselves.
And how, shifting to your sport, how does like your faith kind of shape the way that you attack your goals in your sport and the goals that you have for yourself in water polo?
Yeah, I think a big thing that we've talked about a couple times, once or twice, is like not letting your sport define you, obviously, and like the whole audience of one concept of like we're playing our sport for God, and that in a way, to me, it kind of takes a little bit of the pressure off of playing a sport. And obviously both of us really enjoy pressure. I feel like that's something that athletes enjoy. It's like it means that you care about something enough to feel the nerves and feel the pressure, but at the same time we're both able to kind of hand it off to God and just lay it up to him and be like, you got this from here. And that's a very comforting thought to be able to take with me into the pool.
Yeah. What about you, Cam?
Yeah, and just going through our every like practice day schedule is definitely not easy. And just being able to have someone to lean on, keep you walking straight, like in the hard times, make sure going 100% or 100% of whatever you can give that day. And just seeing the sacrifices Jesus has made for us. Nothing that we can do in the pool is at that level. But just being able to sacrifice, one, for our teammates, and then two, just putting in the work every single day has been, Jesus definitely is a leader and example in that aspects of our water polo careers.
And what do you hope to exude? If that makes sense? Like, what do you hope to give off whenever people encounter you?
I think I actually heard this question somewhere else a couple of days ago, and I think if I had one conversation, it was like, the question was, if you were the only Christian that somebody encountered all day, what would you want their encounter to be like? And my first thought was like for them to feel loved, and it like not necessarily to be like the nice guy that they're talking to, but for them to feel God's love through talking to me, like however the conversation may go.
I feel like another thing that we talked about in the Bible study, going off like the nice guy kind of persona, is like we're not called to be nice, like we're called to be kind. And the difference is like having an actual, like, not me saying to Congo what he wants to hear, but what he needs to hear. And that kindness is like a deeper love. It's something like I want the best for him, not just what he wants to hear. And I think that kind of going about that in like all of our relationships in life, just kind of encompassing that kind of love instead of like, I'm going to tell you what you want to hear rather than what you need to hear, I feel like has been very important.
I was just having this conversation with my mom earlier today that I feel like the way that I go about life can sometimes, it's hard to find that. I don't know. Do you know that one verse where Jesus is like, if someone slaps you on the cheek, just give them the other one?
Turn the cheek,
And it's this idea that I feel like sometimes people view Christians as being kind of like pushovers because of that like nice, like we'll always forgive, so I'll always be there for you, and you could really do me wrong, but at the end of the day, my heart, like, you know, that like conception. How do you, like, what are your thoughts on that? And yeah, I think that's it. Like, just what are your thoughts on that idea of we're not pushovers?
Yeah, I think it's like God calls us to love everybody, but not necessarily to like everybody. And yeah, it's just like living that message. Is like, I'll always want to forgive somebody or look to forgive somebody, and I may not spend all my time with them, or I may not keep giving them a million chances, but I'm still going to try to show God's love to them in whatever way I can.
I'm trying to find the exact passage. But one of the chapters in John talks about Jesus flipping over tables at the temple.
Yeah.
And kind of like this, what could be perceived on the outside as like this anger, him not being kind to the people around him. But one of the amazing things that Congo was bringing up, and his mentor as well, is like Jesus took time to make a whip before he was going to go destroy the temple. So like he took time to like sit with his anger. Like the anger isn't the sin, it's what you do on top of the anger that can be sinful. So choosing to have righteous action after you feel something like anger is very important, like not being a pushover. And I think that is an amazing example of Jesus being kind and standing on what he believes and what we should believe as well, because the people of the temple were making a mockery of our religion, and they were using it for their own benefit and for their own to make money for themselves, instead of like what we've been talking about, having a relationship with the Lord, and just seeing the way Jesus went through that, and not just allowing them to do it, but taking action and keeping people accountable has been a thing that people overlook, and also a thing that we've both taken into our own lives as like, okay, this is how we need to live our lives.
I love doing these conversations because you guys teach me too. And I think that's so cool. Like, I didn't know that. So thank you. What is something that either of you, like, you guys can just share, like, kind of a testimony type thing of something that you've gone through, a struggle that you went through, and how did God help you through it?
I can go first if you need me to. One thing that we are going to be talking about in the book of Jonah tonight is like the different stages of our lives. Like you have different points in your lives where you're ready to run. Like even like using a sports as an analogy, you have this season where like in the prime time you're performing all the time, and then you have your off season where maybe you're in the Bible more, you're kind of in the weight room, kind of like getting more of an understanding for yourself. And then you have like summer before, where you're trying to bounce ideas back on each other. And a big point of that was, as I talked about earlier, was Spain, and being out, like even before coming to college, just living on my own on the other side of the world. Not being able to, because my Spanish is not good at all.
It didn't get better over the...
Oh man, it was so hard. But it was just amazing to like, one, going from Turkey where like I was set on fire, like diving into the Lord, having incredible people around me, and then going over summer, being able to share that with like my teammates, and then just being like out of nowhere just sent to Spain. And I brought actually 6 Bibles with me to Spain in Spanish, and got to like hand them out and see and have conversations with people who weren't actually religious.
That's so cool.
So that was amazing, but I was struggling a lot, and just leaning on the Lord, and sadly not like other people, but just solely on the Lord, was truly a amazing like stepping point in my relationship with him.
Yeah, I don't have like a great answer to this, but I think one slightly hard part of my life was going to high school. I went to a private Catholic high school, and I thought that I went there for water polo pretty much mainly, and because it was COVID, and that was like the only school in our area that wasn't completely online. But throughout all 4 years, I never was able to find a super strong group of Christian friends. And so like that kind of led me through a couple of like the harder years of my life of feeling a little bit alone, and having kind of like a life built out of a bunch of different parts that didn't really go together very well. But I also, like, through that time, I ended up meeting, like, Cam Dill, the one that I was talking about earlier. I ended up meeting people that ended up sticking with me and having a super huge impact on my life. But that definitely was one of the harder points of my life.
And navigating relationships can be, like, much trickier once you start having a deeper, relationship with God as well, because you get more discernment. So would you say that high school was that time where you were,
Yeah.
or it was after that you were like starting to navigate more?
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. And also going from high school into college and kind of like stepping into this whole new world of, like, I went to a small high school and stepping into this whole new world of Los Angeles and sports and partying and everything like that. Like, it was a lot to take in. So, yeah, that's definitely true.
What is something right now that you feel like God is teaching you?
Ooh, I have a good one for this one.
You go first, I think.
One thing that has stuck with me ever since I heard it, we were at the AA retreat, and the speaker there said something. I think I looked at Cam right when he said it, but he was like, you never know how far or how close somebody is to God. Like, one person that you think is so far gone might be one conversation away from God. And that's definitely something that's been at the top of my mind throughout this whole process of, like, we never know who's going to reach out to us. We never know who's going to walk through the door of the group. Like, even our teammates, we never know if any of them are going to want to come. Like, and having that mindset when I talk to anybody is just, that's definitely something that I've learned the last couple months.
That's good.
Amazing. And also going off of that, I feel like the leadership role that we've both been like kind of thrown into has been a blessing. It's been amazing. And like, I don't know about you, Congo, but I definitely have felt my fire come back since joining this Bible study and kind of creating it, and just wanting to honestly do this for not just high school, but like go on and like keep leading after high school. And I have so much more to learn. Like, the knowledge that I have of the Bible, like, I know like there's so much more to learn, and I'm so excited to like just keep diving in, keep helping other people dive in, like bounce off ideas with amazing people like Congo, and just like keep leading through that. And another big thing is like having mentors like Mr. Mo help you get led through it, and that's definitely one thing that I want to keep doing.
It's also so fulfilling to be able to take everything that we learn and just like throw it all back to the people in our Bible study, to the people around us. Like, that's the most fulfilling part by far, is to be able to give all of it back.
For sure.
There's a whole spectrum of people in that room, like, in their walk with God, and by no means are Cam and I any wiser than the next person in the room.
That's my favorite part of it too, being able to like come to an amazing group of people where we're all in the same walk of life, and just being able to sit down and like be face to face with people who like are going through the same things, and just being able to like talk. It's been amazing just to talk, like see where someone is and just talk it through.
And to just build that community, I feel like that's awesome. Like, you're on campus, you're going to class, whatever, then you see somebody from you're like, hey.
Anywhere, not even on campus.
I don't know. Do you guys use your platforms right now to talk about God, or not yet?
Not yet. No.
Yeah, I think we both definitely could. I feel like we're both at like a bare minimum.
Yeah, agree. I feel like once we get to summer and then a little bit of next semester, I feel like there's going to be doors that are going to be opening in our future that will be able to allow us to share it a lot more easily.
Do a lot more outreach.
Yeah, do a lot more outreach. Try to get more people in the Bible study. And once that comes about, like, I'm excited for it. Keep sharing.
Yeah. What does it mean to have... Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut
you
you
you're
off.
good. Keep going.
What is that? I know, I feel like I'm giving you rapid fire.
Okay.
But as athletes, like, the longer you're here, like, more eyes are going to be on you. Like, obviously for your sport, but because of that, how do you anchor that and use that as an opportunity to also bring up God during those interviews, or when people have those eyes on you?
I would say we're both very new to this, being freshmen.
Yeah.
So this is like, we're walking through it. And also amazing thing about having the Bible study is like we have juniors and seniors that like have been walking through this, and we can definitely bounce ideas back on them, and like they can give us advice for us kind of honestly being babies in this whole transition. But next year, kind of stepping into new roles with teams, trying to perform our best, and through that, I think my first season's next year, and Congo's as well because he redshirted. So just being able to share the Lord through that next season will be amazing.
Yeah, I think definitely just making like God an aspect of your identity that leaks into all parts of your life, and not just keeping it within the Bible study or keeping it within Cam and I, but just letting it leak into the water polo team and letting it leak into my social life and all those different aspects. It just kind of completes everything.
And one thing, honestly, that I've been enjoying actually is like we don't bring up the Bible stuff that much at all, but like our teammates will bring it up all the time.
Yeah.
Really?
Like, and if it's like teasing or just like asking something, like it's just been amazing to see like us not bring anything, but like the Lord kind of like pushing his way into their lives and them just bringing it up. Like even if they're giving us jokes about it, like it's in the back of their mind, which is pretty amazing to see the Lord like planting those seeds in different ways.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I just haven't asked you or didn't cover while the mics are on that you want to talk about?
I'll talk about this book because I feel like it is important in our lives to stay in scripture, and one thing that I definitely need to do a better job with. My grandmother gave me this. Do it up there.
Yeah.
Jesus Calling book. Basically, it gives like a couple passages every day. Like you can see, like January 6th, January 5th, and then like a little bit of like encouragement or just guidance throughout your day. And this is a random God moment, but I was struggling with my relationship with the Lord. One of my dad's good friends, I've never texted him in my life, sent me a random sermon talking about the 3 things you need to keep a strong relationship with the Lord. And it's just like what you need in your body. You got rest, you need food, and then you need exercise. So exercise is like what me and Congo do. We argue about the Bible. Like we love it, just bouncing ideas back and forth. You got your rest, which is your prayer, your time with the Lord, just being calm and resting on him. And then, which one did I leave out? Food, which is this. Like going into the Bible, diving into this every day, like nourishing your ideas, and like the Spirit comes from this. And I truly believe that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing I have to add is like community is amazing. Like I said earlier, the hardest years of my life were when I felt alone or isolated, and having community, whether it's one person or a group or whatever it may be, it's such an essential part of your faith. So that's all I got to preach on.
Well, those are all of my questions.
Yeah.
And I really do appreciate you guys so much for coming. You guys are my first duo thing. So I'm so happy that you reached out, Breydon.
Yeah.
Like, I really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll turn this off.